Hi, I'm going to show you how to do a real quick fabric rose, very simply. What you want to do is take a strip of fabric, probably, I don't know, about a 12 inches long, and what you're going to do is you're going to angle a cut on it. So not a big angle, but just a small angle, and you're going to be sewing on the right side of your fabric. So when you're sewing on your right side of your fabric, you're going to want to bend that fabric so that it looks like almost like a half a diamond shape. If I was to put a pin here, let me see if I have a pin. If I was to put a pin here and not think about the rest of this fabric, it would look like if you can think about it, the shape of a diamond in your head. If you cut that diamond in half, that's the shape you're going to want to put on your fabric. You don't want it to be exactly even like this. No, you want it to be more diamond shape, so it has that space going up to the top. So because I'm right-handed, I'm going to be sewing on the right side of the fabric. So I should have cut, since I'm going to be sewing on the right side, I should have made my cut on the top, because I'm going to cut this way. If I sewed this way, I'm going to sew as a left-hander, because this is a single-sided fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around and cut it the opposite way, so that when I actually do go to sew it, I can sew it using the right-hand method. So you see how I did that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my needle position over to the left a little bit, because I want only like a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance on the back of my flower, because that's what's going to determine how much of the leftover you have on the bottom that you have to get rid of. Do you see all that? That's about 1/8 of an inch right there where the flower goes and gets pulled tight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew up to here to about 1/4 of an inch. My first sewing is going to be, I'm going to backspace with a regular stitch, and I'm going to sew to right about here. So let me put that on my machine. Let me see if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to put that on my machine. I've got my needle over to the left, and I'm going to backspace till I get to the end of the fabric with a regular stitch. And all I'm doing right now is securing that piece of thread on my machine. Okay, so now that I've got that sewn, I'm going to switch my machine to a gathering stitch. So I'm going to go all the way to a gather, and now I'm going to sew up to 1/4 of an inch on this purple fabric right here. I'm just going to sew, okay, let me see if you can see that. I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch right to this spot right there with a gathering stitch. Okay, I've got a thread caught there. I want to get that thread out of there so it gets out of my way. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to lift my pressure foot up. Now I'm going to take this piece of fabric. See this piece of fabric here? I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to pull it around to my edge, and I'm going to line that up. I'm going to line that up with that other edge of the fabric. Do you see how it makes that fold there? So I'm going to go ahead and pressure my foot down, put my pressure foot down. I'm going to sew some more. Okay, I'm going to sew until I can't sew anymore, and then I'm going to lift up, and then I'm going to repeat that process all over again. Maybe I can't do that as much as I did last time. Maybe I can only do like 3 stitches or 2 stitches. That's fine. And it might be where I might even catch some of my fabric in there. But that's fine too, because on these roses, if the leaves, not the leaves, but if the petals are differently shaped, it just makes the flower look more realistic. Okay, so next stitch, I'm going to turn this around and do some more stitching. Same thing, turn it. And that time I actually caught some of my fabric in that stitch, but it's quite alright. Like I said, it's just going to make your flower look more realistic. Okay, so put that down. pull it over. And let's see where I'm at. I'm doing the same thing all the way down. Okay, so I'm almost at the end now. I've only got this little bit left, right? So what I'm going to do, I've only got this about 1.5 inches left. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to sew right off the edge. I'm going to taper this down to the end and sew right off the edge. Okay, so this is the result of what I just sewed. It's just a mess of gobbledygook. You wouldn't think it's nothing when you look at it like this. And see how I said I caught some of my fabric in there when I didn't want to? It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's just going to make the flower look more realistic. It's not that I didn't want to, I just that it did, so it's not a big deal either way. Okay, so this is my starting area. So what I want to do is I want to cut these threads off because I don't want them to show in my rows. I don't know where my little clips are. They're over here. Okay, so clip those beginning stitches off. Okay, so grab one of your tails. Well, first of all, you want to find your tails and get them out of the way. Okay, so this we're going to do is we're going to cut this off. We don't want any of this on our flower. Okay, so grab one of your tails. Okay, and we're just going to pull it. Some fabrics will gather a lot easier than others. If you have like some kind of embossing on your fabric, or it's a thicker fabric, or it's hard to work with, it might be a little more difficult to gather. But the more gathers you put in these roses, the prettier they're going to look. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not the prettier they're going to look. It's going to be whether or not it's a full rose or a tight rose. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I had a tough time gathering this one. But you want to gather all the way to that beginning, those beginning stitches. And your fabric will fray. If you don't want the fabric to fray like this, the only thing I can suggest is zigzagging it with a stay stitch or something like that, so you don't get that fraying. But it's just, I just glue on it. I just glue it anyway, so it's not a big deal if it frays on you a little bit. Okay, so you want to get some of the stitches to the very end. Okay, so this is the beginning of it where we did our back stitching. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue gun and we're going to put some glue on here. So right at the very tip here, just put a little glue. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're just going to roll. You want this kind of tight because this is going to be the center of your rose. Okay, and you're just going to roll. So that's what we're doing right here, is that center piece of that rose right there. Let me see if I have a better one. Yeah, this was that first one I did. This is that muslin roses that I did for that thrift store fabric curtain. Those were the 2 roses that I put on a clip. This is one of the big ones I made for making Kyla a dress right now that's purple. And this is one of the bigger roses I made. I think I should have gathered this a little bit more to get more petals in there. I think it would have looked nicer, but I didn't. Okay, so here I am continuing to roll. So I decide, do I want a bigger center? And I said, yeah, I do. I want a little bit of a bigger center. So I'm just going to put a couple more dabs here. I'm going to continue the rolling. Okay, so that looks pretty good for a center. Do you see that? Looks like a pretty good center to me. Okay, so now I want my petals bigger, so I'm going to grab the string and I'm going to put some more gathers in. I want to try and grab the same string so it's easy to gather. Okay, so that's pretty good. If some of these strings get in your way, just cut them off. They bother you, because you can cut them off at the end or as you're gluing. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're here. So what I'm going to do is, if I want to see what it's going to look like before I go any further, let me get this off. I can make a couple twists before I add the glue and see what it's going to look like. Yeah, that's not enough gathers. I want more than that. So grab your string and pull tighter. Tighten that up. Okay, now let's see what it'll look like. Okay, much better. Okay, so I'm going to add some more glue right along that sewing line. And I'm going to twist this some more. Put this away. Okay. Some more gathers. And I'm going to do some more. Sorry, my husband. So then here we go, some more. Some more curls. And then we'll do the final little bit here. Okay, so I just made a purple rose. I can bunch it out a little bit, spread out some of those petals. That is a purple rose. And there you go. That's all there is to it. If I was going to make this for, like on this one for Kyla's outfit, since she's got a purple and silver outfit on, let me show you. If I can get her over here without making the thing shake too much. See, I've got, Kyla's got she can't see, you can't see, she's too close. But anyway, she's got a purple outfit on. So if I want to give her a purple flower for her hair to match her outfit, I would give her the purple with the silver on the leaf. Maybe I'll do a picture of her at the end and show you. Okay, so here would be the purple rose. There's a couple options you can use since you're going to just put these on bar pins, so you don't have to worry about washing them. So after you finish sewing them, you can just cut these off. And you can just put some dab of glue on there for extra security if you want to. And then you can just use a regular, I just used a piece of, on this one I just used a piece of fleece, but you can just put this directly on the, let me see if I can get one. I have to reach over the printer, reach over the, yeah, here we go. This is when I tried to angle this one. I don't know if you can see that or not. I tried to angle this so that when I put this in the front of her face or her hair, it would face towards the front. It didn't work out very good, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. I would just go straight across. So just take your regular pin or your regular clip and then just glue your flower directly to that clip like that. And that's what you can put in the doll's hair. It'll be very cute. So cut off all your strings. You don't need them anymore. Okay, so if I wanted to enhance this one, I would take a piece of paper and some where is it? I'm not having much luck today. I don't know what it is. It's not a good day to record. So anyway, I'll skip that. But anyway, here is it with gold. I took a gold glitter and put that around this one, which turned out really cute. This one I took a just the regular Studio G glitter, and I put a tiny little rim around this one, and it turned out, I like this one, it turned out cute. You can go really small. This is a tiny little rosebud. I bought this at, I sprayed this with this Radiant Mist that I got at the quilt show. It's supposed to be good on fabrics, and you're supposed to be able to wash it. But you can just see barely, you can just barely see that there's a little rose tint, a little gold tint on here. This one is one of my favorites. This is a white one, and it's got the white glitter in it. Let me see if I can reach that. This was the Studio G glitters from Michael's. They were only $1, and I used the white on the white to get this effect, and it turned out beautiful. I don't know if you can see the shine in there or not, but it's got a really nice shine to it. Excuse me. And then this is, I bought this too. It's a lacquer that I got at the quilt show. It's called Galaxy Gloss. And basically what that is you just paint it on like fingernail polish. So say I wanted to enhance this one here, this little red one, I'd take a pin just so I have something to hold on to. And I would take that and I would just paint the whole flower with this gloss. And since you're not going to be washing these, it doesn't matter if they're not washable, because you're going to just attach it to a barrette. So just coat it where you think you're going to want some glitter. It makes it stiff, but not too stiff, because if you go like this, you can move this one around and do all kinds of things with it once it dries. But it's just really stiff at first. Okay, so I don't want that much. So spread it around. You can use a pen too once you get all of this glue wherever you want it. Okay, so now you've got that. Let me see where the camera's at. Now that you've got that all glued up, find whatever glitter you want to use. I'm going to put, I'll use the white. I don't know what it's going to look like on the red. I know what it looks like on, whoops, I spilt it. I'll just shake it on there. See if I can get it out without spilling it. You might want to do this over a piece of paper so that you can put your glitter back in where you, can you see that in the photo? Let's see if I can do this. So basically all that, once it dries, it doesn't look very good now, but once it dries, it's going to give you just a beautiful glossy shine on this rose. And this glitter is going to just gel with that lacquer, and it's just going to just shine once it dries. It's just going to be beautiful. But like I say, don't look at what it looks like now. Wait till it dries and you'll be amazed how pretty it's going to look. But just keep adding as much glitter as you think you're going to want on this for your rose. If you don't think you have enough, just put some more on. I love this white glitter. It just is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to sit this on the side and let it dry. And that's one of the roses. And put that on a hair clip for the doll. And there you go. And this is, like I said, this was the purple one, and I used, for this one, I used just the regular Studio G glitter. It's not as messy, but it looks pretty too. So what I did with that is I would just take this, where's the Studio G glitter? Okay, I gotta reach over the camera again. Okay, let me get that out. This one I tried to do a neon look. I'm not too crazy about it, but it was okay at the time. Let me go ahead and put some of this glue on the paper. I'm almost out of the silver. I used so much with the glitter boots. Okay. The way you can make these roses look really pretty is to, I don't know if you can see that, but you see how every time there was like, if you think of a real rose and then the petals of a rose, you'll take your glitter and you'll just go along the same line as what those real petals would look like, to give it that, like it's been dew, like it's been in the dew. And you'll get a real pretty effect on the flowers. And like I said, this is going to be not washed, so you don't have to worry about what kind of glue you use or whether it's washable or not, because you're not going to wash it. So you're just going to put that glitter where you think there's a top of a leaf. I'm trying to speed this up so it doesn't take so long. But I think you get the idea. Just that little bit of enhancement just makes the rose just stand out. Just with that little bit of silver. And go all the way around. You know, just keep adding till you're happy with it. And if you get it in the wrong spot, you can just wipe it off. Okay, so you get the idea. And that's as easy it is to make these fabric roses. On the instructions, it says that you can, this is a, called the Sweetheart Rose Maker. It's the same thing as that, only I'm doing it on the machine instead of by hand. There's a video online that on YouTube, there's like 4 or 5 videos, and they all, she goes through and tells you how to turn these inside out so you don't have any of the raw edges. She shows you how to shape them differently. She shows you how to add, I don't know, I didn't watch the whole video, but she does show you how to make these roses with that device, but it's more easy to do it on the, much more easy to do it on the machine. So anyway, that's the rose we just made for the hair, for the doll. So we'll just let that dry. Rosebuds, you can do rosebuds too. This is a rosebud one I haven't put together yet. But a rosebud is, you just do hardly any gathers at all. And you just keep turning it. And if you get too much fabric, just cut the stuff you don't need when you glue it down. And that's how you get your little rosebuds, so you can make your little rosebuds. And this is, if you want to really, this is the satin, which was really hard to sew with because it kept raveling on me, but I hardly put any gathers in this one, and that's how you get that really tight rose, just like a brand new opening rose that hasn't opened yet. According to that video, you can put one of those green metal stems in here and then cover it with the floral tape, the green floral tape, and make your own set of long stem roses if you want to do that with this technique. But basically that's all there is to it, and they're very pretty. I mean, you can't beat it for using up your scrap fabric and just shaping them any way you want to, and they're so easy. But if you're going to sew them on a, put them on a garment, I would probably, instead of using glue, I would sew these by hand, and then I would probably whip stitch a circle of some kind of material on the back of these before I sewed them onto my doll clothes or whatever I'm making to do that, so you don't have any raw edges that'll fray when you wash them. But anyway, that was my Sweetheart Rose Maker, but I do it on the machine instead of using this device. Okay, another thing I should mention is I tried it with that tinsel glitter, and it doesn't look pretty at all. I'm going to end up throwing this one away. But that tinsel glitter, you can use it on these if you like that look. I don't particularly like it, but it's another option. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.